Got you, son. I got you.
Good. You and my son have instruction. He knows what to do.
So, anyways,
Make sure he hits it.
I will.
Kidding. He's a pretty good shot. I'm good.
Back to the story here, right? She's in the cave. Cave is clean. They have a language. She commented on the furs, saying the furs are better kept than theirs. I don't know, like, so anybody watching this channel, if you've ever had to skin a deer before and you want to keep the deer skin, right, which is actually deer skin.
You gotta be careful. It's really nice. Too.
It's actually really nice, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my wife had a meltdown in the car the other day. That's a whole nother story about.
Did she have a Bambi moment?
Well, I was gonna go kill a deer. I got my bow back. That's what I'm trying
to say. She had a Bambi moment.
Yeah, she got like.
She's like, "Don't go kill a deer."
She got really upset.
Like, look, man, I need a pair of leather boots, and that's some soft leather there, bro. It's nice.
She's like, "What?" She was like, "What are we gonna do?"
I'll feed a family. See, here's the thing, though, and can we just take a little sidetrack for just 30 seconds about the hunting thing, right? Because it's something that's in my family, right? Like, my family's been in Pennsylvania a very long time. They have not been the fortunate type, right? Sometimes going out and shooting a deer is the difference between making it through the winter, feeling good about entering the winter in a good mood or not, right? Because that venison will pay a lot. It will substitute for a lot of grocery bills, and especially round about now when that shit's real expensive, right? Yeah. So hunting for people like my family is not a thing that we do because it's fun. We do it because we need it. So just keep that in mind.
Well, deer tastes good.
That being said, I'm off my soapbox.
Yeah, you feel better?
You feel better? I really do. I feel cleaner.
Feel cleaner?
For sure. I do.
So she was like, "What are you going to do with that deer?" And I'm like, "We're going to eat it." She's like, "How am I going to cook it?" I was like, "What do you mean, how are you going to cook it?"
We're going to take it to the butcher, and he's going to cut it up into nice, sweet little cuts, and then you're going to put it in a frying pan, and we're going to eat it.
Yeah, so if you've never had venison before, it's actually really good.
Delicious.
It's actually pretty healthy, too. And so are bison burgers. A bison cheeseburger is really good.
Here's what's so tragic about this, though, right now. COVID. A lot of the deer in Pennsylvania during COVID had COVID. Did you know that?
No,
they tested the deer because a lot of people eat those deer.
Right.
And right now, there's a disease going through the whitetail population that's kind of rough. So hunters out there, please be careful.
Well, cook your meat at least. Yeah, cook it.
Get it checked because I don't even know the details there, but your butcher will know. So just be on the lookout.
So anyways. So back to the story. No deers were injured in the filming of this podcast. So
not lately anyway.
Not lately.
I'm not hungry.
So she was saying that the furs on the cave were amazing. The cave were better than her furs, were clean. And that also leads me to another thing. That's not easy to do. To skin and cure an animal hide. I've never skinned or cured a bear hide before. And it's going to be on the floor, so it's more than likely deer. There's a technique. There's a
lot of stuff you got to do to that to make it durable for the floor too.
Yeah. So that tells me that they had tools. They had to have some type of tools because you're not doing that with your teeth. You're not doing that with your fingers. No, it's not happening. So
not with stone tools either. Yeah. Right. So you're talking about something specialized, right?
Yeah. I don't. Yeah. Like maybe like
the first clue that these things were smart should have been that it put pitch over her eyes.
Ah, yeah, that's a good thing right there. Yeah, for sure.
Right? That's not something an animal does.
No. No. Yeah, that's a good point.
So that's where it started. That's your first clue. Yeah. Something grabs you and puts sticky pitch over your eyes on purpose.
Check out the big brain on Jay. You know what?
Hey man, look, detail is my thing, right?
Hey, so you ever seen the A-Team? We're the Sasquatch team. If you've been abducted by a Sasquatch and no one to believe your story, and you need to find them, and if you can find Jay, we'll take your story.
Good luck if you can find me.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway,
I'll give you a clue. I'm in the bubble.
He's in a bubble. So there were skins on there. They had their own language. They had their own ability to move tools. Again, you just pointed out what I missed, that this was a premeditated snatch and grab. This wasn't something he lied in wait for her, right. Covered her up. He wanted her, right? Took
Prepped.
her. Right?
Prepped.
Yeah, exactly.
Had it ready to go. That's not easy to do, man. Yeah. Think about how much pine tar you have to gather up to cover somebody's eyes.
Yeah. True. Right?
It's a good bit.
Yeah. And so he also said that he took her up there and that they were in there, right, with the father and mother. And this is another thing that she said. She said they fed her well. They fed her on deer, all kinds of other stuff, right? She was well fed. And she started to pick up their language. Now, here's where it takes a not so pleasant event for this lady, right? And it didn't dawn on me at first. It never dawned on me, and then I was like, man, you're an idiot. Right? It didn't dawn on me, but then I realized that, like, damn, man, you're pretty stupid. Like, why would he take her?
I've been having that a lot lately.
Yeah, so I was like, so my mind was like, why would he just snatch a girl? And then I'm like, oh, yeah. I realized why he snatched a girl. So he ended up having relations with Seraphine Long, and my guess was those relations were probably not where she had much of a choice. Yeah, she had not much of a choice.
We'll just give it the benefit of the doubt and say no.
Yeah, and so she gets pregnant, right? So she's with them for a year. She gets pregnant, and during the pregnancy, she gets and they never left her alone, right? They never left her alone. Somebody was always with her in the cropping or whatever they would do. Wherever she went, one of them was with her, right? Mm-hmm. Well, during her pregnancy, she got sick. She got very ill, she said, right? And I guess that if you're a human growing a different species child inside of you,
got a Nephilim in you, it's probably going to be uncomfortable.
That's probably might have something to do with it, right? And you probably got to think she's not getting any little to no vitamin D, and you know what I mean, and just constantly in there, just a bad situation.
Who knows, right?
Yeah, who knows?
Not only just the stress, right? The stress in and of itself is a huge thing for counter indication to miscarriage, right?
Yeah. So here this gets weird. She's picked up enough of their language, and it's their language is similar enough to her language that they were able to say, I want to go home. I'm dying. I want to see my family before I die. Mm-hmm. They get mad at her, so she goes into this crying fit. They get mad at her that she wants to leave, right? Mm-hmm. So this Yeti goes outside, gets that tree gum again, comes back inside, and he blinds her again, picks her up, mm-hmm. and he starts to carry her back. Like he literally is taking her back home, right?
He's like, all right.
Yeah.
Taking the taxi.
And so she says, again, she goes through the trip. They get down to the river, and she said she was so weak she couldn't hold on, so he held on to her, right? And this also makes me believe her story is because that there's a level of care that he seems to have for her, because it wasn't like he could not just go down and get another girl, right? It wasn't like that wasn't an option for this guy, right?
He picked one.
It
wasn't random.
It wasn't random, and then it wasn't like, okay, she's no use to me anymore. He could just let her go in the river. But she said he's holding her, swimming across the river, picks her up. Never once did she say that he manhandled her. Never once.
Subscribe now and turn on the notifications to join us on this extraordinary journey into the unknown.